This is a landmark ruling in the history of the United States, every bit as significant as the Supreme Court rulings relating to civil rights in the late 1960s and 1970s. By 5 votes to 4, the 9 justices of the Supreme Court have in essence legalized gay marriage in all 50 American states. Justice Anthony Kennedy, writing for the majority, wrote that same-sex couples ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. And it fell to President Obama at the White House to lead the celebrations of this Supreme Court decision.
This morning, the Supreme Court recognized that the Constitution guarantees marriage equality. In doing so, they've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law, that all people should be treated equally, regardless of who they are or who they love.
And echoing the President's words, there is a real sense of history here at the Supreme Court as supporters of this decision by the Supreme Court justices came to the steps of the Supreme Court to express their delight with the decision.
I wrote on my Facebook this morning that this is one of the best days I've had in a while. My very, very best friends all do not identify as straight, so for them even to have the option to get married is life-changing.
But for opponents of gay marriage in the United States, this decision is a bitter pill to swallow, and the Republican Party, through its National Committee, put out a statement saying that the Supreme Court has failed to recognize the state's constitutional role in setting marriage policy. In other words, the Republican Party is arguing that the 5 justices who voted in favor of legalizing gay marriage have overstepped their bounds. However, the Republican statement concedes that the Supreme Court has spoken with finality. In other words, the Republicans are now forced to accept that really what the Supreme Court is doing is establishing settled law in the United States, ending the debate about whether same-sex marriage should be legal and enforcing its legality from coast to coast. And that has enormous political implications for the 2016 presidential election campaign, because it may free Republican presidential aspirants from having to argue about gay marriage on the campaign trail, given the finality of this court's decision. Simon Marks, Channel News Asia, at the Supreme Court in Washington.